It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Steelers and the Jets on Thursday night primetime.
Well, we have a cold night in the Northeast. A bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in off a loss last time out, but still in the midst of a great season, winners of 8 of their last 10. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU at Zach Wilson.
And we both know it's a league where they seemingly throw the ball in just about every play. But watching him perform last week where he threw 3 touchdown passes still caught my eye in a big way.
Still kind of the gold standard, 3 touchdown passes, isn't it? And for his efforts last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I can't wait to see what he does this week.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Now it's Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Here's Wilson to throw. Slant to Adams. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 7 catches, 79 yards, and a touchdown.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. They'll try and run here with Mostert. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Steelers' 12-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And he's brought down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flipped it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on 1st and goal. And they sent that play backwards.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Cameron Hayward make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force him into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Now the Jets will call on the field goal unit here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Lambeau will put this one through. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
Fielded right around the 8. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go! Let's go!
So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Gotta get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
First carry for Najee Harris. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 14 carries, 96 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now a first down carry for Harris. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. They'll set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right, and he'll just get rid of him. This defense for the Jets, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. T.J. Watt in on the tackle. 5 yards remain on second down. Here's a toss play right to Mostert. First down and a little extra for Mostert. 110 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. Let's go. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They hand it off to Mostert. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Second down, here's Mostert again. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Alex Highsmith just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. After the sack on 1st down, Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The Jets on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Now Wilson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Lambeau is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
They'll start the drive with Harris. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Room here to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Now it's 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. The completion good. This is Ebron. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
On 2nd down, Mostert. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On 1st down, Wilson. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Ebron. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and now it's 2nd down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. Throwing is Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
Washington's got it. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time, they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big connection on that one, 36 yards.
One of the things that led this organization to commit to him as a starting quarterback as a rookie, his ability to keep his eyes downfield and make plays out of the pocket. Able to see the receiver while on the move and complete a really accurate throw.
He's got Claypool for a Steeler touchdown. Chase Claypool in the final seconds of the first half. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive interception, this drive the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it, solid, because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounced back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we're into the final 3 weeks of the NFL season. A lot of races going to be coming right down to the wire. Before we get it back to you guys, let's check out what we have coming up this weekend on the Week 16 NFL slate. In the 1 o'clock games, the one that catches the eye happens in Big D at AT&T Stadium, a tough test for the Cowboys as they get set to take on the visiting New York Giants. Good stuff going on later in the afternoon as well, especially down in Miami, where it will be the Dolphins taking on the Cleveland Browns. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore